This is one of those situations where you hate being right. For weeks now, I have predicted this very outcome to the new DLC for Red Dead Online. And here we are. Exactly what I predicted. Now, I encourage you to go back and watch the past 3 or 4 videos. Hell, watch every one of them. I don't have a lot of content up yet, but when it comes to understanding, the situation that the gaming industry is in, that it finds itself in at this moment, I think I got a pretty good clear understanding of how these things go, because I separate the emotional attachment that gamers have to, well, just gaming, right? And look at it from a business slash corporation aspect, where your feelings don't matter. Those association patterns that release the dopamine in your brain. You get that emotional satisfaction. Now that doesn't matter in the corporate world. What matters is profit. Which would seem kind of like, counterproductive here if you're going to, invest these multi-millions of dollars into a game, over a course of 7-8 years, production, and then to turn around and just let it die, I guess, or just let it be unplayable, or GTA Online obviously is their golden goose. If there was no GTA Online, would Rockstar still exist as a video game company? I think that is a very, a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Reasonable, yeah, a reasonable question to ask. Because I got a feeling that Take-Two would have EA'd Rockstar a while ago if GTA Online wasn't doing its thing, which is basically Clash of Clans on console. It's all fucking GTA is, right? I mean, it's got its fun moments, don't get me wrong, but if you look at the absolute amount of commitment that they apply to the two games, it's very, at least it seems fairly obvious. We don't know what they're talking about, but we can kind of determine the direction that they're going to go based upon their actions. All right, I don't buy into this whole entire thing of they're going to do the right thing by you, because when did they do that? When have they ever done that? At what point? In the past 5 years, has the gaming industry really come out and be about the gamers? Because now most of the games are just so interlaced with this ideology that is just counterintuitive and counterproductive, and really just kind of takes away the enjoyability of playing the game. Because you get lectured basically about how you are a horrible person, instead of you having that escapism, right? It's just, there's no peace for you anymore. They're not going to let you be at peace. Just remember that, all right? And keep an eye out for that in case you want to think that I'm just kind of being conspiratorial or whatever. Shut the fuck up, all right? Once you realize that over 90% of our media companies here in America are owned by basically 6 companies, and those 6 companies are owned by the same people, and or at the very least they all promote the same ideological front, even if it means, in some cases, billions of dollars in lost profit. And you're just like, hold on here, drip feed. I thought SEC rules and regulations state that you have to make money for your company, in good faith there, or otherwise you're breaking the law. Yeah, you see how many people have been held accountable for that Because when you're owned by the people who can print money out of thin air, profits are meaningless, folks. They really are. And I just hope that you have that epiphany one day. And because there's only so much of your expectations that can be subverted before you have to say, hey, let's just re-examine the situation here and make sure that everything's on the up and up for myself here, and those around me. But back to the game here. Red Dead Online right now is completely broken. You can't play it. But hey, we got that new GTA Online DLC on a Tuesday. Really? Really, Rockstar? You're going to release a DLC on a Thursday for a game that you update weekly on a Tuesday. Alright? And that Thursday is generally reserved for the GTA. So it's just kind of weird that it was almost like Rockstar was trying to hide it within the noise. Like, you can't obviously completely remove it from the public view because people are expecting things, but if you add it to what is normally the GTA update day, a lot of it gets lost in the noise, right? And now here we are a few days later, and then we get another 3.7 gigabyte update patch that completely broke the game. And then the exact 24 hours later, damn near, we get DLC for GTA Online. Now, I want y'all to think about that timeline and think about the playability of Red Dead Online right now. The people running the company, all right, they're not idiots. They're functional human beings. They just have a different outcome in mind than the one that you have in your mind. And it makes no sense to us as gamers on why they would release a DLC to a game that breaks it, and then breaks it even further with another patch, and then issues zero statements about it. Rockstar support won't even mention it, and if they do mention something, it's more of just like, oh, I see that some players are experiencing these things. And that right there tells you, like remember earlier I was talking about actions, right? Judge them by the fruits, That's been told to us for over 2,000 years. Don't listen to their words. Listen to their actions. What do their actions tell you? Well, they release a broken DLC. They refuse to officially address it. And when they do, they minimize the problem completely and make it look like it's a small sliver when this is not. This is across the entire land of Red Dead Online, right? So the people playing the game know that it's broken. Rockstar knows that it's broken. So the question is, is why do they take such extreme measures to act like nothing is wrong? And that it's just, unbalanced, unhinged people complaining. Just a very small vocal minority. There's nothing wrong here, folks. Rockstar is dying as a company. Yeah, I know. Prophets say otherwise, but the people that are running Rockstar are not the same people who built Rockstar. Alright? There's a difference. The people who work at Rockstar now are not the same people who worked at Rockstar 10 years ago. And you can really see the themes creep in, all right? I mean, especially when you look at the difference in storytelling between GTA 4, GTA 5, and even just Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, right? You can see the wokeness that has been pushed, forced, into these storylines. And it tells you exactly what Rockstar is now. Because they're not the Rockstar 20 years ago, folks. Remember, old Danny boy, he ain't part of the show anymore, man. He hasn't been for a while. It makes you wonder, why did he check out like he did? Well, let's look at the current state of affairs. Yeah, there could be a reason why. I mean, if you look at what's going on with Red Dead Online, it's very reasonable to sit there and say, like, hey, perhaps with the removal of this man here, that everything else kind of dominoed down. And I say it's actually the opposite. I think that the rot started at the bottom and worked its way up to the top, where it finally got rid of the man who built Rockstar. So it's a rotting, empty corpse of itself. But hey, guys, they got offices around the world, right? Look how international they are. Look how cool they are. As they manipulate you and take advantage of you from all those good feelings that you had growing up. You know how San Andreas made you feel when you got the jetpack and flew around? We even got into the UFO. Wow, that was amazing, right? GTA 3, just running around, just blowing stuff up with your friends, at home. Using that sniper rifle to shoot people's limbs off, right? All those cool emotions to basically be able to, all those things that you fantasized about, in daily life, just like, people cut you off, or they're rude to you, or, they act like pieces of shit, and you're just like, God, I wish I could, run them over with my car, not that you really wanted to, because of the repercussions, life-changing repercussions from that, but it's, at the end of the day, you're still okay, if a person didn't let you in, on the highway, you're still alive, you're still functioning, you didn't lose your job, nothing different per se, other than a inconvenience happened in your life. But this is different, folks. And it's only going to go downhill. This shitstorm is just starting. And it's creeping on the horizon. And it's coming. Oh, it's coming. So it's going to be really interesting to see, exactly how this goes and what it does to the player base. Man, I was playing last night, and I couldn't lock onto any animals. The animals disappeared, but when you're looking at the population sizes, we're talking about, I never had more than 7 people in a session. And for a game that forces you into full sessions, you don't have choice. You just have to go, right? I think it shows either the servers are really screwed or no one's playing the game because it's broken. Maybe it's a combination of both, but I don't see any value in trying to log in if you can, to try to play the game for any length of time outside of trying to maintain a daily streak. But good luck with that, because if you can stay inside the session. So this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to predict. The game's going to be a mess for another week or two. And they're going to slowly patch it back together. I'm not going to predict a timeline because, let's be honest, they left that game broken. From moonshiners to the naturalist. And then and then it seemed to be fixed for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden start falling apart again. The Rockstar has to have quality testers, right? There is a thing called a video game tester. These people exist. And so they knew this. He had to have an idea that what was going to happen after release of this. I think they just kind of released it just to shut people up. But why can't the people that they employ produce a functional product? What is it about the people that they employ that they are seemingly incapable of this? This is a legitimate question. It's a question that y'all need to think about, internalize, process. And let's not allow ourselves to die on this mountain that is Red Dead Redemption Online. So the great games out there, folks. Subscribe and like. And man,